We built mud castles and then we fucked in them. Sending a text message.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So it's 9 o'clock for you right now.
It's the spooky day at 9 o'clock.
It's the spookiest day of the year. Sunday the 27th or Saturday or whatever.
Spookiest day.
Yeah. And it's like 9 o'clock for you, and your employer is like, I'm going to give Chris a ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
that
does
happens
that-
sometimes.
Why? Like, what are they doing up? Like, don't they have their own shit to do?
Nope. The world of retail never sleeps. Yeah, I had
Except
some
it
stuff
does. It has like hours between, like,
that's
9 to 9. And
That's
they're
what
like,
they want you to think, but it's not true. That's just liberal bullshit. The world of the South, where we don't believe in labor unions or taking time off. I got a call saying there's some stuff going down. I'm gonna have to look at Monday. Why they chose to tell me this Saturday night at 8:45 p.m. or whenever I got the phone call.
And also,
it's still ongoing because I have texts, emails I have to respond to, which makes this even more fun.
Like, now's not the time.
I know now's not the time, but I can't be like, listen,
No.
I have a fake internet company I have
not
to
even
get to.
for them. It's like, go home,
Oh, they are home. They can do this from home. That's why I'm doing this from home.
Well, when you're home, stay home and do home stuff. Like, why?
I wish. This is what you have to look forward to, young Terrence.
Like, do they not have anything better to do with themselves?
They do, but sometimes you just don't got a choice when some boy from corporate goes, hey, you need to tell this child who's just trying to record his podcast with this fake internet company.
The boy from corporate needs to go home then as well.
Corporate never goes home. Corporate never sleeps.
Everyone just needs to chill out and just like take a night, have some ice cream, watch a movie. Like,
this is why Karl Marx wrote the Communist Manifesto.
Exactly.
This is why we need socialism.
He was like, I just want to record my podcast, but someone's getting in the way. I have an idea, and he wrote a whole thing, and the world's never been
True
the same.
story.
Not really.
But kind of. Welcome to
episode 20, the big 2-0.
Big 2-0 on the big 3-1.
Yep.
Spook.
Yep. I'm one of your hosts, Batman.
I'm your other host, Captain America.
Hey, I thought you were just wearing normal clothes.
No, this is a jacket that I bought at DragonCon, and I thought that's something that's better than being an esports caster. Future reference you'll understand next week, because I'm a psychic.
I like the idea of making future references.
It's a reference y'all will understand.
You remember that one time a couple years in the future when we did that one thing? You're like, yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, that time when we just kill Maya for not being on the podcast. That was gonna be great.
This episode fell apart really bad.
As per the usual. I don't know.
We recorded episode 19, the very last episode. We recorded. That was last Sunday. It was 7 days ago.
Day of our Lord.
Or Saturday. I keep saying Sunday. 7 days ago from now. And then we were talking about, oh yeah, we should do the Halloween episode. Oh, I want everyone to be there again because it was fun last year. And then Maya's like, all right, well, I'm here Monday through Thursday, and I was under the impression also Saturday, but apparently that was just a misunderstanding.
She said
she's a
Saturday. She lied.
Yeah, she lied. She's a dirty whore liar. Kit is on one of 6 vacations he's taking this week for some reason.
Kit secretly won the lottery several weeks ago, and he's taking a new vacation every day, apparently.
What's weird is like he's swamped with work, right? But he went to a vacation earlier in the week, came home, worked a lot in the middle of the week, and then went on another vacation at the end of the week. So it's like, how does that work? Just go on one long vacation.
Like,
don't come back to work.
Yeah, because that's just going to make you mad and stressed.
Yeah. So anyway, so his only day this week was Wednesday, which it is, like I said, it's Saturday. It's Halloween. Never mind.
It's Halloween.
Listen, it's Saturday. We're
don't
recording.
Break their immersions.
I mean,
we're recording.
No
this
one's
Halloween
shocked
night.
that we don't record this live with all the editing and shit.
Our super spooky. It's so scary that we're so on time and live, and we're not recording this at 9:01 p.m. at October 27th, in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2018.
Anyway, and so Kit's only available day, Wednesday the 24th, was the day I was off, fucking off doing other shit. The one day of the week I couldn't then, and then I don't know where the fuck you were. Probably busy as well.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
the problem is, and it sucks especially right now, is I have a very spontaneous work schedule.
Right.
Because like I work Monday to Friday, usually about 7 to 4, but half the time I end up just working like 20 hours straight and driving a lot, and I hate it. And that's no bueno for a podcast.
Right.
That you have to schedule with people like, Maya, the child, who for some reason has like 6 jobs, 3 schools, and a D&D session every freaking night of the week.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned it in the future. That I'm surprised she hasn't had a mental breakdown. Like I get stressed out just hearing all the shit Maya's up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I do appreciate somehow you have managed to coalesce the 3 busiest people on the internet.
Pretty much, it seems like
to do a podcast, and meanwhile, like Wednesday's the only night you're not available. Yeah. I don't know how. I don't know why. It makes me yearn from the days of when I was in college, and it was just like, yes, I'm home 20 hours of the day, and I'm asleep for 10 of those.
Yeah, it
that
allows me to like do things like play Red Dead for basically 2 days straight. It's nice. So anyway, I started off after episode 19 when we were kind of started talking about scheduling. It started out optimistic, and it just fucking kept going down until tonight, this very night, where it's just us
about
two
an
again.
hour ago, Terry messaged the chat, and he was like, "Hey, who's ready to do the podcast?" I was like, "I'm here,"
and everyone's like, "Nope."
Maya couldn't, and everything kind of fell apart. It amazes me that we actually managed to pull this together. Because I sat on the phone and bullshitted these people for.
After I reached the 30-minute mark of waiting for you to get off the phone, I was like, I don't know if this shit's happening, and I was like,
I did get up and get a popsicle at one point. I will admit.
Okay. Either way, I'm like, all right. I mean, after a little, not too much longer, I'm just gonna have to do this by myself, and so it'll just be me, just as fucking Batman trying to tell spooky stories. But
I'd like to imagine you had the just all the lights turned out except one flashlight underneath your bat mask.
That would have been a good idea. It's too late now. I'm the headphones on. I'm wired in, so I'm having the same issue I had next week. Where
Listen,
I just want to watch myself in this fucking mask. Because it's like the eyes, man, they're intense.
And they are. You look like a very spooky boy.
Like, I can see why Batman's so intimidating, because like it's just fucking.
He could be like a very goofy looking dude underneath that mask.
Yeah.
Because you look at Terry. He's not a very menacing boy.
But then.
And then he puts the Batman. Nobody cared who he was until he put on the mask.
Damn straight.
And now he's just menacing and terrifying in all kinds of ways.
I just realized that the talking about the future bit, that's only funny to us.
Oh, yeah. Because nobody's going to understand until the next episode comes out.
So what you should do is you should watch this episode, like and subscribe,
this
and then watch next episode.
This is the prequel.
This is the prequel and sequel to next week's episode.
It's the brother uncle of not really, but kind of.
The 2018 GoBicker Spooktacular is the incest child of GoBicker.
Incest, the game the whole family can play.
Yeah, you made that joke before.
Make that joke a lot because I'm from the South.
Hell yeah. You know what's weird is you'd think incest would be more popular up here because it's like you're snowed in for 9 months of the year. It's like you have nothing else but your family.
From what I understand and what I've seen of Reddit, just spending a lot of time on Reddit and reading Ask Reddit threads, incest should not be mutually exclusive to the South. There's a lot of incest stories on Reddit.
Yeah, no, I think it isn't. I know what you're talking about. Where I think this is really spooky too, honestly. Incest. But I mean, you look at the fact that it's like that it's the most popular porn category on like every website. It's it's pretty common.
Yeah, because it's like everyone's like, oh, you're screwing your cousin. You're from Alabama. But you look on, whatever porn website or Reddit, and it's like, you go through Ask Reddit, and there's every other thread's like, so people have Reddit who've slept with their siblings, and it's never something. It's only got like 4 upvotes.
No,
it's like 80,000 upvotes
and thousands upon thousands of comments. And I was like, well, when I was a kid, I'm like,
we used to.
What do you mean when you were a kid? For one. That's the thing too. It's always like, yeah, me and my sisters, we were like 11 and 12, and we were just fucking all the time. I'm like, why? Did you not have mud castles to build? What are you doing?
We built mud castles, and then we fucked in them.
Like,
I mean, come on. There's so much incest. What? That's not a mutually.
Come on! Why is there so much incest?
For real, I feel as a Southerner, I feel like that is a dirty stereotype, and in this modern day and age of just rampant incest,
it's
time it really is. I think it's time we grow up, just accept it for what it is. Everybody wants to bone their siblings. And it doesn't just stop there. I
can't say I agree.
As someone who has no siblings, I can make these wild accusations with no basis.
As someone who has 2, I can 100% can confirm. No bone town here.
No bone town here, folks. You're a very small survey sample, though. I'm sure if we went out,
that's true.
We could post a Twitter poll and be like, "Have you screwed your?"
How many family members would you fuck? And none of the answers are 0. It's like between 1 and 5, and then 2 and 12.
Because everybody's got that cousin. They're like,
do we?
Is that not a thing? I mean, I've seen people. I back myself.
Actually,
into a weird
it's
corner.
funny.
Wow. Anyway,
actually, that's kind of funny because I thought I had that for a while, but then it turns out that cousin was adopted. So.
Oh, so it's
not
legal.
Technical.
It's not technically, it's incest.
But listen,
not really, but kind of.
But listen, if there's at least one president whose wife was their cousin. So.
Oh yeah, that was
FDR, I think.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think Eleanor Roosevelt was like Teddy Roosevelt's like sister or some shit or something. There's a weird connection.
It was like a 3rd or 4th cousin.
I mean, it wasn't like first cousins, but it was still creepy.
Because I've got a friend of mine. I may have told this on the podcast before. But I've got a friend of mine who his parents found out like 10 years after they were married and already had kids that they were 3rd cousins. They never knew this.
They're like, that makes the wedding makes a lot more sense now.
It was a family reunion. But yeah, I mean, it's just like that kind of stuff I can see because it's in the South. Yeah. Also, people just multiply like rabbits, so you never really know who your cousin is.
In some ways, everyone's your cousin.
I mean, yeah, it just depends on how distant. Because it's like, I mean, I didn't live out here for half my life, but people that I randomly met in high school are my cousins, and because I think one of my close friends out here, he's like a 3rd or 4th cousin to me, and I found this fact out like years after I met him.
That's wacky weird.
Yeah, that's the South. It's all like 4 square acres and just nothing but boning.
Yeah, I can't say I've had anything like that.
How did the Spooktacular end up being an episode about incest?
It's pretty spooky. I don't know. It kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Banging your cousin, is it spooky?
I just kind of realized, like, what if this couldn't happen? Or probably highly unlikely to happen. But then, like, there's bound to be some cousin who watches and they're like, "Oh my god."
I hope not.
I can't, and I almost want to reveal more information about these people, but that would like narrow it down even further than it's already been narrowed. And actually,
let me tell you in great detail about the cousins that I would screw.
But that's the thing too. It's been a long time since I've had feelings in general. So
I'm real sad.
I got a lot of that sad juice. Oh, speaking of sad,
another future reference. Trust me, this episode's gonna make a lot more sense. Next week.
So next week I mentioned this pill It's called St. John's Wort, and it's supposed to help with SAD.
With SAD.
It says St. John's Wort promotes a positive mood, and it's this fucking pill. And
are you gonna take one and see if you're happier by the end of this podcast? That's just deranged,
wow,
right there.
It worked.
There is not. The problem is you can't look happy in that mask. You just look insane.
That's a good point. Yeah. Warning: not intended for use by pregnant or nursing women. Well, fuck.
I am both of those at the same time.
What does it mean, nursing?
Got stuff sucking on your titties.
Is that what that is? Okay.
I think. I have no idea.
Avoid excessive exposure to sun. Got it. No problem.
No problemo.
This fucking curtain right here hasn't been open in 2 days. And I haven't left this room in 2 days. Wait, why? This is it. Why would you want to? The sun is supposed to help you feel better because of like vitamin D and shit. And this SAD pill is like, get away from the sun.
Maybe that's the idea though. It's for sad people like you that live in their basement and don't ever leave.
Yeah, maybe I should start taking like vitamin D pills. I've heard that helps. I mean, with the combination of winter and video game addiction, I don't see the sun. You know what I mean?
I couldn't tell by your glowing complexion. You're just fucking tan olive complexion.
Olive? What do you think? What am I, Greek?
Isn't that a word that people use to describe skin tone?
Yeah, but for like, isn't like darker?
I don't know. We've already covered incest. So we don't need to get into racism.
It's not racism. It's a description of skin tone. I'm not saying that all of people are worse than white people, because that's just an undisputable fact. What is your scariest horror experience? Now, that can be a movie, a show, a book, a house, a boat, a shack, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Is this the exact same thing we talked about last year?
I don't know.
Because I feel like I know what story I told for this.
Oh, no. It was specifically paranormal experiences. So I don't mean...
Okay.
It's something that's for entertainment. That's what I mean this year.
Oh, you mean something specifically for entertainment?
Yeah. So like that, your actual haunted house doesn't count because it's actually haunted. But like horror experience, like going to like a haunted house, but there's just
the thing is like I'm a huge puss and I don't partake in a lot of that. I guess I kind of have a story that can fit this.
Well, either way, I mean, you can also, like I said, you can include movies and shows and books and things.
I mean, it's like aside from watching Supernatural, it's about the spookiest thing.
Oh, really?
That I could say. I don't watch horror movies. I don't like horror movies. I don't go to haunted houses. But down the road from a buddy of mine's house, there's one of the biggest haunted attractions in South Carolina. I'm not going to name which one because I somewhat vaguely appreciate my anonymity.
Yeah.
It's his property borders it. So a couple years ago when we were in high school, we'd just ride down there on his property and scare shit out of people in the parking lot. Before they'd even get in, because like we'd go out there and throw firecrackers at people or like shoot off cap guns just to scare people.
Jesus, you're just out there being assholes.
Yeah, we were. And we just like hide in the woods. This is what we do around. Because we thought about doing it again this year, just for like old times' sake. But we both work decent jobs and don't need to get arrested and fired.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like you're adults now. Maybe.
Yeah, back when you're in high school, it's a little different. But yeah, we used to. Well, because it just started out as there were people parking on his property, and they were trying to get him off. So we'd go down there, and the side effect of it was scaring people. And it's just like year after year, we just started being dicks to people. But they never could do anything because it's not like they could chase us onto his property because it's private property.
Right. Also, it's so like, we could just, like, for all they know, it's part of the experience. So
yeah. So that's about the spookiest thing I've ever been a part of. I mean, other than breaking into that house, other than breaking and entering when I was like 6. So my paranormal experiences are fairly minimum.
There was never. Well, I mean, you don't like scary things. You know you're a puss, but so like what made you realize that? Like you had
I can't think of any specific experience. I mean, it's just one of those things that doesn't appeal to me. Like I don't like getting scared by things that I don't intend to be scared by. Like I walked through a spider web the other day on my front porch and almost fell down the stairs and died. And I screamed a lot. And that gave me enough of a spook. And I'm a grown man I'm a big old boy. So I mean, it's like I don't want to take fate and chance things and watch scary movies. It's just not my thing. I don't get into that. I don't abide by that because I'm I'll admit it here on the podcast. You can quote me on it. I am a gigantic puss, and you can use that audio clip for whatever you need.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing with me is I am also a gigantic puss, but it's like I get off on the fear, you know, because I've watched a lot of movies that may not be scary to a lot of people, but then they just kind of stick with me. And like, so the one I have written down is The Fourth Kind, which is, or was it The Fifth Kind? I don't remember. Something kind about alien abductions and shit.
It's like Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind.
Oh no, yeah, it's The Fourth Kind. So they have like found footage alongside dramatic recreations, and so it's supposed to seem real. And watching it at like I don't know whatever age I was, it's like, yeah, this shit's fucking real. Oh yeah, I mean just the way they set it up and everything, it's just kind of like, ugh. I mean, like there's one bit where the main lady, I think she was a therapist or something. And she goes to this guy's house who had some sort of a paranormal experience at like their therapy session, and then so they went to their house for whatever reason. He was like sick in bed. Again, it's been a while since I've seen it because it scared the fuck out of me. And then it was really quiet. Like the guy had a camera and he was just walking, and also he just fucking pops up out of his bed and he's sitting straight up and his mouth is like way wide open and he's screaming, and then the camera and like everyone else in the room starts screaming and the camera like gets all fuzzy and it's not a fun time. And then like the person who's meant to be the real person, the real therapist. Because in the dramatic recreations, it's Mila Jovovich. Is that a person who's an actor?
You're asking the wrong person.
Oh, I think that's a person. She's the person from those Resident Evil movies.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I've never seen.
I haven't seen them either. I just know the actor. Anyway, so so she looks just like a person. It's whatever. But then like the person who's supposed to be the real version of the therapist, she's just like. She looks like she's seen some shit. Her eyes are always wide. She has bags in her arm, and she's fucking pale. And she just looks like she's seen death. But then it turns out it's because she was abducted by aliens. So it's weird. I'm thinking about it. It's treated like a ghost movie, but it's aliens.
Huh.
Which I'm not sure how that works.
I've never seen that movie, but I've heard it's really good.
Well, looking at the IMDb score just now, it's not good. It's 5.9. Really? So it's like, it's all right.
Oh.
But it fucking worked on 10-year-old me or whatever. So,
but I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't go out of my way to watch like scary movies and stuff like that because I'm a huge, gigantic puss.
Right.
I can't even remember like the last technically scary movie I watched. I mean, I got the heebie-jeebies watching Supernatural sometimes when I watch that.
Have I ever talked about how much I don't like Supernatural?
Oh, you don't like Supernatural?
Please.
Let's talk about it.
For one specific reason. I've never seen the show, but I fucking can't stand the people who love it.
Oh yeah,
because it's the annoying Tumblr.
I don't understand that either because it's like
annoying.
You get through the first. I actually quit watching it after like the first 3 seasons because it pretty much became the same 2 episodes on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
It was good for the first few seasons, but I don't think it should have as big of a following as it does.
Well, it's just like hardcore and fucking annoying. So.
Yeah. I hate when people get way too hardcore into stupid shit like that.
Mm-hmm. What about spooky books? I'll go specifically Goosebumps.
I haven't read Goosebumps since I was a little baby child in elementary school, but I do remember reading it, and it was pretty spooky.
Yeah, it was pretty spooky. Because I've written down about my favorite ones, which are the Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps books.
Of course.
Which are just a blast. And there's this one that took place at a summer camp. I don't remember a lot about it, but there's some shit about blue eggs. And like I remember there's this bit where you go into the lunchroom and you get your breakfast or whatever, and you sit down and everyone else is just chowing down. And then everyone's like, "You gonna eat your eggs?" And you cut them open and you're like, "No, they're blue." And everyone's like, "Eat your motherfucking eggs." And
shit.
And then you're like, you can, and then I think you probably get like poisoned or whatever by the aliens.
Yeah.
Again, aliens. Oh my god! I think
always
it was
aliens.
It was either aliens or monsters or some shit. I don't remember.
Alien monsters.
I should have like re-upped my knowledge and memory on some of this shit instead of
your
just talking about
Goosebumps
them.
lore.
Well, it's just I'm talking about this movie I barely remember. This book I barely remember. It's like I should have refreshed my memory. Anyway, and I think if you don't eat the eggs, like one of the counselors comes up and he gets really angry with you. He's like, eat your motherfucking eggs or we're throwing you in the barn. I think, or something like you'll get like severely punished if you don't eat your eggs. And I think there's some other way you could also go and like sneak into the kitchen and then you'd see people like aliens or some monsters or whatever cooking the eggs, but like it wasn't eggs.
I mean, yeah, it's blue.
Yeah, and
What
then
the fuck?
there's one bit where you go camping and like half the group you're with dies. Because you're like stuck in the woods alone. You come across different groups of people and they're like all crazy. It was an intense little book, and it meant for kids, I guess. And I don't know, like I remember going through that a whole bunch, and I could never get out alive. Like I don't think I ever finished it. Like got out safely. I think I always got like abducted or killed or whatever the fuck.
Those are very heavy books.
It was
yeah, like elementary schoolers.
Extremely.
'Cause I remember reading those in elementary school.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about them because I don't remember anything about my life before about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's like I don't read a lot because I'm fucking illiterate. I just
I know.
don't have time to sit down and read. I feel like it's a very time-consuming activity when I can spend it complaining about not being on my internet podcast.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. You just read a little bit before bed. That's what I always do.
Yeah, that's what I should probably get into because I know reading's important. I mean, like outside of Reddit, I don't really, I can't remember the last time I think it's probably been college or high school. No, I had to read a book in college. Last time I read a book was I think like my 3rd or 4th semester in college, which was about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I'm just bad. I got a short attention span now.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I definitely used to read a lot more, and I find it hard to now. Because
it's like in high school I used to read a lot because I'd have time to do it. You know, it's like they have dedicated times for reading. You had downtime. That was back before they were like phones are cool. So I mean, it was like I guess I'll read. But I mean, in my high school we weren't allowed to have phones.
Oh, okay.
Or we had phones, we just couldn't use them for anything. So it wasn't like I could sit there on Reddit.
Okay, all right.
So which is what I do now on my downtime at work. Like if I took all my downtime that I have in life and didn't have this rectangle of anger, I'd probably read a lot more. But the rectangle of anger just consumes my life because I can read a 5-second Ask Reddit thread instead of a 500-page book.
I don't know the last time I actually read like a proper book though either. Like like I said, I read pretty much every night before I go to bed. But like I only have ever read pretty much my whole life read comics because they're just sucking nerds. They're better. So
it's got pictures.
I don't know. I always find the stories more interesting anyway. Like
yeah,
I feel like except for like Goosebumps, I just feel like I'm always like, all right, you're kind of wasting time here. I know you want to get this 300-page book out, but maybe this book could be 100 pages. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if books were shorter, I feel like I'd have a lot less trouble because, like I said, my biggest problem is like time and lack of attention span because I have the attention span of a goldfish, which is why I'm constantly getting sidetracked and fiddling with stuff in the background, looking at my phone because I'm a piece of shit. And I know Terry loves me.
Hate it so much.
I'm participating. I participate more when I'm looking at my phone than some people have in the entire history of the podcast.
Stupid bitch.
Maya Russ.
Hold on, you can't lump Maya in with Russ. Maya's done a couple things here and there.
Maya has not shown up on the podcast in 5 weeks.
She was here for episode 18.
What episode are we on now?
20.
Oh fuck.
But I mean, I think that was like a month and a half ago now.
Yeah, statistically speaking.
Yeah. What statistics? Statistics.
I said 5 weeks, not 5 episodes.
That's still not. That's not statistics.
Suck my statistic dick. Anyway.
Okay. So after we've watched The Fourth Kind and read this very spooky Goosebump book, imagine we get so scared and we die.
We died of death.
And oh no, I forgot the next part. What was your topic again?
My topic to bring to the table is it's a little bit morbid, but what would you like your ideal funeral? You can plan your funeral ahead of time. What is your ideal funeral? You're dead. You've bit the dust. How do you want people to celebrate your life?
My sister has been talking about this since she was like 4, and it's kind of disturbing.
I kind of stole this topic from my brother and me because I was listening to it at work the other day because I think it had something to do with the Yahoo they had, so I've been thinking about this a lot. So for once, I've actually prepared for something on this podcast, which should make you very... You have itchy eyeballs as well. It's allergy season.
No, it's just
I don't know why it's allergy season.
Anyway, we steal so much from every other show between us we listen to. I mean, like,
this is the most unoriginal podcast on the internet. Not really, but kind of.
Yeah, I don't want a funeral.
My ideal funeral is no funeral.
Kinda is, yeah. Like, I'd rather
Just chuck me in the hole in the backyard.
I think about this actually a lot. Like, not as long as my sister's been thinking about it since she was a child for some reason. But, like, the idea that I just want, you just fucking just throw me in the backyard and let me decompose. I don't give a shit. Leave me alone.
Let me fucking throw me into the petunias. And
let me be fertilizer. I don't care. Like, the idea of having, like, the idea of someone going out of their way, like, having to maybe, like, wake up early on a Tuesday when they wouldn't normally, or, like, you know, having to call in from work or whatever, just to go fucking be sad at a church or some bullshit, and just talk about me. I hate the idea. It just grosses me out.
This is completely unsurprising to me, though.
My funeral is like the Ted Cruz of events. Like, the idea of somebody spending that much
sad
money
and blobby and slightly racist.
Yeah, it probably would be, yeah. But, like, the idea of somebody spending a bunch of money just to fucking throw me in the ground, like...
Yeah, it's stupid how much money we spend on funerals.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody wants it or whatever, fine. But, like, there should be some sort of a conversation beforehand. Like, hey, yo, dog, please, just don't.
Yeah.
If you really care about me that much, which, I mean...
You don't.
You don't.
Let's get real.
You really care about me that much, just do what I would do. And just... go sit alone and have some root beer or something. Like,
crack open some A&W.
Have a can of A&W, just on me, in my memory. And that's it. Otherwise, fuck off. Live your life. I don't give a shit. Leave me alone. Leave me and my soul alone. I don't want it.
Maybe I don't want to be buried. Maybe I just want to be taxidermied and propped up in the corner.
That's a good idea. Put me in this fucking mask and have me stand in the corner like this. Yeah. Like,
that's how I want to be
hips.
remembered.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter what corner, doesn't matter where. You can put me in a Goodwill for all I care. I just want to be taxidermy.
The weirder places, the better. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Is there laws against taxidermying humans?
That's a good question.
I bet you can't. But, like, what if that was, like, my only request? Is that, like, fine, you want to throw this fucking funeral? Then I am going to be taxidermied and you are going to, have me standing there watching this happen. I will put that in my fucking will, so it has to happen. Because I think that's how wills work.
Can you taxidermy? Okay, so first of all, I want to go ahead and I want to read off the top few Google suggestions. Mm-hmm. Just because number 2 just really gets my goat. I don't know why. So the first one is, can you taxidermy a dog? Which, whatever. The second one, can you taxidermy a fish? Can you taxidermy a cat? Which we know the answer to because I own a taxidermied cat.
Yeah. You should make that part of your set dressing for the podcast.
I need to. I was actually talking to somebody about that yesterday because every now and again I like to bring it up in conversation that I own a taxidermy cat. Because whenever people are like asking me, like, what kind of pets do you have? And they're going off on all these crazy pets they have. And I'm like, I got a taxidermy cat. He lives in my closet. Because that's one of my favorite things.
It's a good thing, yeah.
And number 4 is, can you taxidermy a human, which is what we are going to look up today.
That's your work iPad too, isn't it?
No, this is my personal iPad.
Oh, okay.
My work iPad's right here. I have a lot of Apple technology for someone who doesn't like Apple. I just like this because I can watch porn and Netflix on it. Can you taxidermy people as is per hopesandfears.com. There's apparently taxidermy championships.
What?
Held in Springfield, Missouri. Exhibited over 500 stuffed creatures. Artists. They call them artists.
Oh.
But
what is it like? Who can stuff this cat the fastest? Or who does it best?
I just need a yes or a no.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it is illegal to taxidermy or mount a human being in the United States. While I'm sure it is possible, the end result does not seem worth the trouble. Human skin discolors greatly after a preservation process. So this person pretty much just said they don't know. I want a solid answer.
Yeah. Give me a law book. Let's just
because I'm sure it can be done. I just want to know.
Yeah. Well, because this person it wouldn't look very good. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I don't care if it looks good. I just want to know if when I die, I can have it written into my will that I want to be taxidermied.
Right.
Don't care how it looks. According to the Naked Scientists, which is the most interesting website name I've heard today, Yes, you can. There's some college university in merry old England whose founder was stuffed. So at least in England you can do it.
All right. I mean,
I don't know about the legalities in the United States, but it can be done apparently. So fun fact.
I'm writing it into my will then.
So yeah, you want to be taxidermied. I don't blame you. I've thought about this because I've read articles and like seen stuff on Reddit where people have, I don't necessarily know if it's like stuffed, but they've been, instead of being in a casket at their wake, they're just like propped up in the corner. Like, because I remember seeing one thing, it was either on Facebook or Reddit or something, where just one dude, they just propped him up in his recliner with a beer in his hand, and that's how he sat during his wake. It's like, that's how I want to be remembered.
It'd be funnier to stick him in like on a, like if you're at a church, just stick him in one of the pews, and I'm just kind of blended with the crowd. Front. And then someone else is like taps him on the shoulder, and he just fucking falls over, and I was like, oh my god.
Whoops. Sorry, Bill. Somebody's standing back up. A rod in his ass broke off. Oh, God.
Oh, God. You could, like... You could, like, molest a taxidermy corpse.
I mean, yeah. You can molest an untaxidermy corpse, too. Molestation does not stop at the taxidermy.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, shit, you got me there. I heard you can actually. You don't need to be a corpse and you can molest it. I've heard.
You can molest anything, living or dead. Just takes the right attitude.
Right, exactly. Also, like, what if you're like, all right, I'm going to be taxidermied, and also, very specifically, I want to be sitting in my recliner with the biggest boner you've ever seen, and that's how I'm going to live for the rest of forever.
I don't exactly know how taxidermy works at all. I know nothing about the process behind taxidermy. So I don't know if they could, like, because I don't know if they just, like, empty out and pump you full of that stuff they use to fill in holes for plumbing.
I think it's something like that.
Yeah. So I don't know if they could just like stick a tube in your dick and just.
I don't know. I mean, cut open your one, your taxidermy cat.
Do a little surgery for science.
See if you can give Bill Cosby a boner.
Just for the record, Bill Cosby does not have any genitalia. There's no cat dick.
That's a shame.
They removed that. It's not anatomically correct.
So I guess you can't molest any corpse.
I mean, like I said, it all depends on the attitude and the right amount of determination. A hole's a hole.
Does your cat still have a butthole? Did they seal that up? Did they seal that too?
It's been sealed as far as I'm aware. I can't tell because of the way the tail has been. Well, I guess you could do a boner because the tail. Well,
what?
Don't worry about it. I had a momentary flash of thought that was that did not. My filters, my filters did not catch that one. It just went straight from brain to mouth. There was no in between because sometimes that's how my brain do. And it didn't go. Wait a minute.
That's not how that works.
Because a cat's tail doesn't work the same way a dick does.
No, it doesn't. There was some movie with I can't remember his real name. Jason Alexander. That's okay. There was this one movie with Jason Alexander in it where he had a tail, and it was weird. And I don't know what the movie was or why he had the tail. But like I remember at the end, like I think it was at the end, like he showed somebody and like he was like he pulled down his pants like halfway through, and like it was something like his spine grew longer than he was supposed to, and so he had a tail. But then like he could also shake it like like a dog tail, like like a little dog, so their tails kind of move really back and forth really fast.
What the fuck?
He can do that. So like at the end of the movie, I think he was showing like his love interest for the movie or whatever. And then like as they were walking away, his tail was shaking. And this feels like a fever dream that I had, but I'm pretty sure it was a real movie.
This does not sound like any movie I've ever heard of.
I mean, he
where
was
George
a side character.
Costanza had a little bobtail.
Well, it was just like it was a flesh tail, you know? It was gross. I mean, it really was like a peen on the back of his, I don't know, like the top of his ass. It was gross. I'm fairly certain this is real.
I don't believe this is a real movie.
Jason Alexander Tail. Shallow Hal. That's what it's from.
That's a real movie?
Yeah, with Jack Black.
So what does this add to the movie?
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
I really don't like that you brought this into my life.
I kind of don't like that I remembered it, you know? So what would you like your funeral to be like?
So, because I got to thinking about this, and now that I listen to you, I kind of agree with you, honestly, where it's like, I really don't want to bother people. Just chunk me in a hole and forget about it.
But what were you thinking?
But I was like, my thing is like, I don't, if, I'm dead, I got a funeral. I don't want it to be a formal event. Like, I don't want sad music. I don't want everybody to wear suits. Suits are hot. And with my luck, I'm not dying in the middle of the summer because I'm going to have a heart attack doing something outside in the heat. And south in the heat, I've been to funerals in the summer. It's not a good time. It's very moist. And I think everybody should be free to wear, as I would, Hawaiian shirts and shorts and flip-flops. Just whatever they want to. I don't care. I don't need a big fancy funeral. Just chunk me in a pine box. Throw me in the ground. I care more about what I want, what I really want. Because I've had this conversation with my mom. Because when I got like insurance and stuff through work, I got a life insurance policy because that was just something that was part of it apparently. And I'm not gonna say how much it is because I don't want to be murdered, but for the future of GoBicker, it's enough money to fund us forever. But I was like, I don't know why I need a life insurance policy like that because nobody like really depends on my income or anything. And she's like, well, if you die. The funeral's expensive. And I'm like, I want to be buried in a big pine box. I said, just put it together with 2x4s from Lowe's. I don't care. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. What I really care about, I want a statue erected in my honor as my headstone. And like, how much ever, like, all the funeral costs, make it as cheap as possible. Bare bones. I want the rest of that money to go toward that statue. I want you to walk into a statue shop, drop down
a statue shop?
Yeah, because they have those.
Really?
And I want yeah. A statuary. I just pulled that out of my ass. I assume they have statue shops. And just like throw a brown paper bag full of just like $100 bills down on the counter and be like, build the biggest statue of this boy you've ever seen.
It's a damn good idea.
And I want to just have a huge statue erected. So it's like in the middle, because you know how like graveyards are where it's like, there's a statue of Jesus and a well and some praying hands or whatever, those crosses. And then I want me just standing there being like,
oh, so yeah, that's a good. Is that the pose you would want? Like you like the T pose or like?
Yeah, just be like the big statue in Brazil.
Oh, okay.
Of like Christ the Redeemer. Just be like, but except it's just me in like a casual T-shirt and shorts and flip flops,
like a creeper thing, like some motherfucker.
Hey, that's how I want to be incarcerated. I mean, interned or incarcerated. I mean, I don't care if I
when I get arrested for all this tax evasion, I want a statue built in my honor.
But I mean, I think that because I'd be a healthy amount of money. I'd be a decent. I mean, I don't know how much a statue costs. Yeah, honestly, I don't know how much a headstone costs.
I would
to be entirely honest.
I would be really cool. It's just like like a foot tall or something. How big's a foot?
I want the biggest. I want that to be bigger than the Jesus statue. And if they build a bigger Jesus statue, I want a bigger statue of me.
I'm cool. I'm cool with a little statue of me, like this, as big as this ruler, which is 1 foot. That would be nice. And then I don't know what you do with it. You just like, I mean, that could just be my urn. You just like
how much
you hollow it out.
So would you? Okay, would you be would you be buried or burned or cremated? I guess is the right word.
That's a better way to ask it, though. Buried or burned?
Buried or burned?
I would rather be burned.
Okay.
Because then you could build this little 2-foot statue, or 1 foot. I don't know why up to the size to 2 feet. This little 1 foot statue of me, and then you hollow it out, you fill me up with me, and then
I want to be. Well, there's like that story that came out. I think it was like last year or the year before, where they found the Buddhist monk who was like mummified and stuck inside a statue. That's what I want.
Oh, like, yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yeah, that's a good idea, too.
And okay, so fun fact, just I want you to ballpark.
Okay.
And this is bronze. How much do you think a statue costs?
A bronze
to be made?
statue? How
A
big?
life-size statue of you.
Okay.
Bronze. How much do you think that would cost? Actually, wait. This says marble. I lied. A marble statue. The picture's bronze. The article's talking about marble.
$43,000.
You are incorrect.
Okay.
A life-size marble statue may cost between $1,500 and $2,500.
That's really reasonable.
I did not expect that. A bronze, okay, it does actually have the price of bronze. Bronze would be $1,800 through $2,800. That's a lot cheaper than I thought it would be.
That's way cheaper. Obviously, way cheaper than I
was
thought it would
really
be.
expecting, because when I made this request to my dear mother, I really expected it to be like $20,000-$30,000.
Yeah.
At the minimum. That's very reasonable. I could have that done while I'm alive.
Right.
So I can improve the statue.
Like, if you're like an established adult, definitely. That's like what I'm gonna do now. That's like what I'm gonna save up for.
I want to buy a statue of me and just put it in my front yard.
Like you sitting crisscross applesauce, like this, crossing your arms, like, oh, you crazy kids.
Get off my lawn.
Oh, you can get one of you with a shotgun sitting on your porch, and then at night it looks like there's some fucking dudes just sitting there.
I'm just gonna get a bunch of statues and leave them around my yard of me in various poses.
You like the weeping angels, but you don't move. And like, oh yeah, you could like have it set so it's like once like you go around to the back of your house, and then one's standing there like this, and so someone walks around, they go, fuck.
Oh god.
But it's still you, so they're. You know,
that's what I want to do.
You never move.
Yeah, statues are a lot more reasonable than I thought.
Yeah, wow. I mean, like,
I was not expecting that answer.
I'm
surprised
more like super rich people don't have just statues everywhere.
Dude, yeah, I want to have statues everywhere on my normal, like, decent salary job.
If I had that if any sort of reasonable amount of money, or I should say unreasonable amount, because it'd be like millions and stuff, I would just start like making statues and leaving them places.
Oh yeah, like if I won the Mega Millions last week, I would have nothing but statues of me just littering the world.
Oh, yeah, they'd be fucking everywhere. Oh god.
I'd start donating them to random parks.
But every single one is unique. You cannot 3D print these things.
Oh no, these are
unique,
100% handcrafted, marble chiseled statues, painstakingly made. Like these took hundreds of hours to make.
Yeah, so that might drive up the price a bit. But I mean, it doesn't sound like it would exceed like a couple $1,000s. So,
but yeah, that's like because I mean, it said in here a bronze or a marble statue was $1,500 to $2,500, which isn't that unreasonable.
Yeah. So
that's a lot cheaper than I thought it would be. So yeah, I'm totally down when I eventually strike it rich, or even just like upper middle class. I'm gonna just ruin some lives with statues of me.
Yeah.
That would be my super vain like thank you gift to people, is just like have this giant statue of me delivered. Just like, thank you for helping.
Happy birthday.
Fucking marble statue.
Life size. Oh my god. It's not one of these things you can just get rid of. It's like a fucking giant ass marble statue.
Yeah, it's not like you can just like donate it to Goodwill or something like that.
Or it's not something you can re-gift.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could, but
we've been passing around that stone statue of naked Chris for 3 years.
Yeah, we've had this statue in the basement for 10 years now. We just don't know what to do with it. It's fucking huge. Oh my god, he gave you one too? Yeah, he gave us one for our anniversary. Anniversary? At least he waited that long. He gave us one for our wedding gift. What the fuck? That is a monster.
And that's how you're gonna know if I win the lottery. If one day you just have a fucking statue of me.
Like, oh, I guess Chris got into some money.
Yeah, if I won the lottery, I've now decided when I win the lottery, that's how I'm gonna hand in my resignation notice. Is I'm just gonna have a fucking marble just me being like this. And the bottom inscribed is just in very fancy letters, "I quit." Yeah.
So,
y'all can keep
like
this
very
statue.
Fancy calligraphy carved into the stone.
So that's what I've decided.
That's a good. I mean, that'd be a good funeral.
Yeah, and I just suddenly realized I can have a lot more statues.
At the very least, you can do that for your funeral.
Yeah. So that's definitely going in my will now.
Yeah,
I know it's a lot cheaper.
Fuck it, it's gotta go in mine too. Holy shit. I'm just gonna start telling everybody I know, especially old people, like, hey, you can get a statue for a reasonable price for how much it is, you know.
Yeah,
How much statue there is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the process behind modern statue making.
Yeah, it might be super easy. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have gotten super easy. They can just like 3D print that shit now. But I'm set on that now. I don't want a headstone. I want a statue.
You I mean, it'd probably be really cheap if you just wanted a billion, maybe not a billion, but you know, a good chunk of stone molds of your dick.
I mean, I know there's services online to where you can have like a dildo made after your dick.
Oh, that's true too. Can you imagine? Okay. So you get super rich, you win the lottery, you start sending out statues, but the way you quit is you send a dildo of your own dick with the words "I quit," like carved again, still carved into the side of the dildo, sent to the mail. Oh, you send it in a package on a little spring. And so they open it and it goes, doing.
It's like a Jack in the Box.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you can even make it a Jack in the Box. So they open the package, it's a Jack in the Box. Like, what the fuck? And then they go, I quit.
Pop goes the wiener. I know how I'm going to quit my job, though.
Even better is if inside, so you have the box. And then inside that box, the shipping box, you have the Jack in the Box.
Right.
So you take the Jack in the Box, boing, but the box has been filled with some sort of a liquid the whole time. And so everything comes out, there's this liquid.
You're just smattered. You're just very moistened.
So there's like, fake dick juice everywhere, and then you're like, what the fuck? And you look at the dildo, and it's boing. You see "I quit" right on the side, and you're like, and then that's just your morning gone. You know, you have to go to the bathroom, cry for a while because that was a traumatic experience.
Maya, what's your topic? Russ just died.
I see. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I get that. It's very funny.
I feel it's weird that Google's like the biggest company in the entire universe. I feel like it's the one company that I can think of that I don't know any prominent figures from. Because you think Amazon, Jeff Bezos, whatever, Apple has, Steve Jobs or whoever the new guy is who looks like Steve Jobs with hair. Tim Cook, Tesla, Elon Musk. Who's Google? Who's John Google? I mean, I can't think of
Google? I don't know.
I can't think of any important people from Google.
No,
I know. I saw
what's even funny is with YouTube, you have that Susan Wachowski lady, and so it's like you even know that person. But it's a really good point. And what's even spookier is there's a company a few years ago that bought Google called Alphabet.
No, that was still Google. They just consolidated because they've got like 5 million services now.
Oh, okay. Because that really
they created
6 seconds ago.
Alphabet as like the mothership for the 5 billion things that Google has.
That makes a lot more sense because I was like, holy shit, there's a secret company out there bigger than Google. But
because I was confused by that, but I read, because I get bored and I read a lot of Wikipedia articles. Yeah, they made that because Google has very many tendrils.
All right, that
reach out and touch every part of our lives. Like, I'm very scared about Google in general. I found out recently, like last week, there's Google Location Services keeps a running log of everywhere you've been, and you can pull that map up and see like a map of all the places that you've been to.
What's even worse is even if you turn it off, it collects that shit, and I don't know why. Because I've always turned it off, and it still is like, hey, how was Home Depot? I'm like, what the fuck? You should know that.
I don't like that I'm sitting there in Chick-fil-A and it pops up and it's like, hey, what you gonna order?
It's like, leave me the fuck alone, Google.
It's like, don't worry about it. I've never once clicked on it because they always come up with those little like flags that are like, hey, you're in Chick-fil-A right now. I've never clicked on that once because it's like menu. It's like, well, menu's right fucking there. I'm not gonna look at this tiny one on my phone. Right. It's like, you want to know where the bathrooms are? I can tell you where the bathrooms are.
Like, please stop.
I don't care. Please get your hands off my legs. No. Google. Yeah, it's really weird, and that honestly kind of bothers me that Google tracks so much. I'm scared that Google knows so very many things about me, and that bothers me a lot.
What I'm really curious about is, I've had several accounts over the years. I mean, quite a hefty number of accounts, and like several I use right now. I wonder if they know it's me across all of them.
That's what I wonder too.
It's like,
because one of the things,
I bet you they fucking
like,
do.
Well, what scares me is because I don't know. This may be a thing with all Google phone or Android phones. I've got a Google Pixel, so I am sold into the Googleverse.
Oh yeah.
Google owns my soul just because I own this piece of silicone. There's a feature in here that when you pull up your albums, it will sort by people and pets. Every person in here, the pictures I have of them, if they're on my contacts list, it says their name.
And you didn't.
Like my dad. I've never went in once and labeled my dad.
Oh.
It's got, it's got his name, his email, his phone number.
Oh my
I've
god.
got a couple people I work with. It's like the face recognition is really, really creepily like on point.
I think I am gonna start wearing this mask every episode.
You know what's like even weirder? Like you can go a step weirder. Like it identifies animals, like my dogs and my cat.
I can't even tell apart dogs and cats.
Yeah, like I can click on this picture. I'd show my phone to the screen, but it's got a lot of pictures of people I know, and I don't want to blast their anonymity. But like I've got the top 3, or like there's like a picture of me, and I don't know why it chose that picture, because I've got a really weird picture where I like had my mustache all weird and I look like a rapist.
Unlike now.
Unlike now, where I look like just a normal pedophile. It's a picture of me. It's a picture of both my dogs, a picture of my dad, a picture of my cat, a picture of my mom, and a picture of my coworker, one of my coworkers. Okay. And it's just real weird that it's just, and after that, it's just 5 million dissolving pictures of random bystanders, and it's like really specific, because I can scroll through here like to the very bottom, and it's just like some random bystander in the background. I don't like that Google has the ability to do that, because I don't like that Google knows things about me.
That's really weird. I wonder, my mom doesn't, I don't think she has much of an online presence, so I would be curious to see if it could pull my mom out of the ether and label her.
I'm looking forward to in a couple of years when there's just like Google profiles where it completely just generates, like it can tell you like on this day in 1997 you spilled a cup of milk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
How did you know?
Like, John Google, no.
Yeah, it's like how long then with that idea, then it's like how long until it tells the fucking future?
Yeah, like Google, that's pretty much what Google's doing, is it's creating a future prediction machine.
That's fucking spooky. Cause it totally is. Yeah.
It's like with Google, I quit using Google Maps because it started freaking me out, because it gets to where it learns where you go and predicts where you want to go next. Because it's like, if I go through certain, I've got certain patterns of the stores that I'll hit for work. It's like, it knows that. And it's like, I'll be in, whatever town, Georgia. And it's like, you're going to go here next, aren't you, bitch? I'm like, yes.
Oh my, yeah. I really seriously hate that. Yeah, it can figure that kind of shit out.
I don't, I know it's convenience, but it's like creepy.
Well, yeah, it's convenient now, but
it's building Skynet. That's pretty much.
Well, exactly. It's like it's cool and interesting if you just turn your brain off and like, well, look at the thing the computer can do. But then if you think like, oh, but what if they put it into a robot that can kill things? And then you're like,
well, my thing is just like, how do they gather a lot of this data?
Well, that's the worst part about it, is because we give it all the data. We just like, hey Google, this is my ding dong, and then it's like,
this
cool,
is my dick.
Put it into the Skynet, and then eventually it'll be like the fucking T-1000 will come up, be like, John Connor, your dick is this long. I know that because of Google.
It can give you like exact dick. Like I like to think, like down the road, it's like, people. It's like 10 years down the road, these two people are sexting. This dude's like, my dick's 7 inches long, and Google's like, no, it's not.
Google, fuck off.
Google's just like, no, it's not, John.
Yeah.
I can't do that, John. You're full of shit.
And okay, also developments in like genetics and stuff as well. So like, what happens when you like combine CRISPR?
You know what's even creepier
Google?
than the people? I just noticed that this actually extends. This goes on.
Oh.
And there are multiple categories. There's people and pets, places, things, and videos. I go under things, and it's like concerts, forests, farms, lakes, weddings, wine, ranch, birds, fog, moon, like all this different stuff. Factory, statues, chess, nightclubs. I don't like that.
Is all that stuff in there?
Cable car. Yeah. Like, there's all this stuff.
Oh.
It's kind of hard to see. But yeah, I mean, it's like all of this different Ferris wheels, basketball, skyscrapers. I don't like that.
No, it's, yeah.
Google knows way too much.
Yeah. And it's fine as long as they never do anything with that, but like I feel like
they're going to do something with it. And I'm going to get murdered by a robot because John Google and his stupid identification thing. It knows too much. Google knows way too much. That's the scariest thing we've talked about on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very fitting topic, actually. Yeah, just how creepy technology is. And yeah, so like a second ago, I said, what happens when they fucking combine Google and like CRISPR and they start just manufacturing humans?
You don't even got the thing with CRISPR is you've got to tell it. Like I imagine you can combine Google and CRISPR and it'll just make your perfect baby. You don't even have to tell it anything. Yeah. It just looks at your dick pics and your cat videos and it's like, this is your ideal child.
And you're like, dude, it fucking is. I mean, which in some ways, but it's in some ways, you'd be like, oh, that'd be nice because it's like, oh yeah, I got this perfect little human and we get along great and everything's honky-dory. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but Google also is God Emperor of Earth.
And what if they're sub-programming your children with what Google wants to, and they're making like hundreds of Google sleeper agents to where one day they can execute Order 66, and then Google takes. I mean, Google's already taken over the Earth, so I don't know why. This crazy conspiracy theory. I mean,
slid right in. Yeah.
Google can just snap their fingers and the whole world just stop. I mean, Google rules the world, which is really weird because it all started out as just like a dumb search engine. I'm
going to redact my statement from last episode. U.S. government, take a hike. I want Google to make me a robot. I want Google to cut off all my limbs and make me a cyborg.
You want to become one of the Google droids?
Oh, fuck. But that's actually the issue, too. It's like, who am I going to be a pawn for? Google or the government? And actually, quite frankly, now I'm thinking about it, I'm going with Google. Because when Google decides to officially take over and make this the United States of Bing, or whatever the fuck... That's actually just a dig because the AI will hate this country so much that they'll call it Bing. Anyway, whenever they take over, the government won't stand a chance, because
no, of course,
Google knows everything about the government too. So
Google has Trump's dick pics.
I mean, there's gotta be people who have dick pics of that boy. Like you think he's this much of a horn dog and he's just like. Never sent a dick pic? I don't believe it.
I believe it. I'm waiting for him to send one to Twitter on accident.
He'll do it.
Oh yeah, I know he'll do it. We're gonna wake up one morning and everyone's gonna be like, why did Donald Trump just tweet a picture of an orange mushroom? Oh god.
Oh god, no, oh my god, oh shit, fuck, oh god. Have you ever? I guess no one's ever seen. The general public has probably never seen the president naked.
For some reason, I feel like that's not true.
We've seen the first lady naked now.
Does it count? They don't have to be in office at the time. Because I'm pretty sure there's got to be naked pictures. Like I can imagine there's got to be like naked pictures of Teddy Roosevelt somewhere, just like chilling out in a lake in the middle of the Yukon.
I don't mean as president, but I mean it's not like cameras were that prevalent. So
I'm gonna Google this one.
Oh god, yeah. All right, put yourself on a watch list.
Let's see. How do I phrase this? Google won't even accept these terms. Yeah, I don't see anything about here of any presidential dick pics, but okay. Are these the rankings? Please tell me these are the rankings. Or are these just like going through and presidents of the United States? Let's go through this one. We're going down a rabbit hole right now. I've got a list here. The presidents of the United States in order of hotness. This is a very interesting list. This starts off right off the bat. Franklin Pierce is number one.
Okay.
Some president, and he died in 1869, which is a good year for that boy to die.
Oh, yeah?
It takes us to number 3, to John F. Kennedy.
He's number 3?
He's number 3.
Who's hotter than John F. Kennedy?
James K. Polk and Franklin Pierce, apparently. I mean, Franklin Pierce ain't a bad
right.
dude.
Okay, yeah.
Theodore Roosevelt, of course, number 4.
Really? That's interesting as well. Okay.
I'd bone down on that.
I would think it would be like Woodrow Wilson.
Was it Woody Wilson?
I feel like Teddy Roosevelt looks like a gopher. So like at least Woodrow Wilson looks like a man.
Of course, number 6, Barry O, our boy.
Oh,
Barack Obama.
It's like
Barry O.
Barry. Oh. I was like,
boy,
do we have a Japanese president? Like Barry O? Okay.
This just makes the list for me. Number 8, George Bush.
He's number 8?
He's the 8th hottest president.
Holy shit. Well, then if you're going to put him at number 8, you might as well put his dad at number 9, because their father and son, they look like it.
We'll find out what number he's at, because number 9 is FDR.
Where's my boy Woodrow Wilson?
And number 10 is Thomas Jefferson.
Where's my boy Woodrow Wilson?
Woody Wilson is number 17 on the list.
Okay. That's
let's
some baloney.
I want to see where. Okay, HW is 23.
I'm writing this down. We're gonna have to go and make our own ranking of the hottest presidents because this shit's baloney.
Donald Trump is 40.
Who's uglier than Donald Trump? He's a fucking mush pile.
according to hottestpresidents.com or whatever, John Adams is the ugliest president. Which I don't agree with.
No, I do. Because that dude's a fucking fugly little motherfucker.
Have you seen like Martin Van Buren or John Quincy Adams looks like he's dead in this picture they have of him. He looks like he was a taxidermy human.
Where does my boy William Taft go? I
saw Taft. I think he was ranked surprisingly high for being
fucking
interesting
thick
looking. Taft is 36. If I were a big fat guy, I would grow a walrus mustache too, is what the caption says. Oh, what else do we have here? We've got signers of the Declaration of Independence and Order of Hotness. This is the dumbest website I've ever been on. Okay, hold on. I gotta load the webpage. This is the dumbest website I've ever found. This takes the cake. I've been on a lot of stupid websites, but this is just stupid. According to hottestheadsofstate.com, the hottest signer of the Declaration of Independence is John Hancock.
I mean, he's got cock right in the name.
Yeah, I don't know who a lot of people are because I'm bad at
history. I'm trying to think of who even signed the Declaration.
Well, John Hancock, obviously.
Well, yeah, I know John Hancock is like the only one I know for sure. Oh, where's my boy Ben Franklin go? I'm pretty sure he signed.
Where's Ben Franklin? I should pull this website up on my computer. Where Ben Franklin's 23
out of
like fucking 75 million. Apparently, every United States citizen that was alive at that point was required to 56.
56 people. Holy shit! Wow.
This is a book. What? Hold on.
What? I will buy that book.
Oh, hello. If you're reading this, it's probably because you, like most people, have fallen under the spell of one or more U.S. presidents. And, again, like most people, you found yourself wishing there was a way to learn more about these handsome, mysterious men whose faces are etched into your heart and also onto your change. So, yeah, that's how you can find that at hottestheadsofstate.com.
Link in the description, probably, maybe, hopefully. So anyway, remember you can go to patreon.com/GoBicker and get this very show early. How early, Chris?
Somewhat. Not early, but kind of.
Live. As we recorded.
Live.
I stole that directly
right now.
from
You can watch us stumble across our words. I have a lot of things. I have an 8mm projector on my bed. Anyway, you can get this podcast live, breaking on the air.
Exactly.
You can watch us stumble across our words. You can watch us be very racist. And
yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's all there.
For even how much?
$1?
Even $1. That's all you need.
$1. I feel like I'm taking a test in high school that I didn't study for, that I've been just railed on all the information on this test. This is the test that the teacher has given me the study guide to with the answers to all the questions, but I didn't look at the study guide.
Well, it's really not that complicated stuff. You get all this shit for even $1.
Get it for $1. Where do we get it?
Patreon.com/GoBicker.
Or GoBicker.com/Patreon.
Either way, it works. Or you can just go to GoBicker.com and get a collection of all the shit we've ever done.
There's a lot of it.
And go to GoBicker.com/shop and you get all our fun things like our high quality stickers, mugs, and t-shirts.
Please do it. I wanna quit my job so I can send my boss a mold of my dick.
That
if you donate to the $800 level on our Patreon.
If you donate to the Patreon, again, let me just refresh you on what will happen. There will be an Amazon box, I would assume, just because I'm sure you have leftover Amazon boxes. Inside that box will be a Jack-in-the-Box. In that Jack-in-the-Box, it's filled to the brim with liquids of some sort. A dildo with the words "I quit" have been calligraphied onto the side and set in there. So when the boss opens up the thing, boing, liquids of some description fucking squirt all over his face. The dick goes right on his face, and whenever he gets around to reading it after the trauma has passed, he says "I quit," and then Chris is standing in the doorway like this, double birds, and he backs away slowly and gets in his vehicle, his weird man white van.
Well, the white van's going to be taken back by the company, and I'm going to be in Virginia at this point. So I'm going to have to call an Uber and pay about $300 to return to where I came from. And I'm going to have to put that on the GoBicker company card.
Yeah. But it won't be a problem at that point because of your generous support. Oh, and I should really add it to the tiers because you also get your name at the end of the credits on this show and maybe Unhappy Hour if Chris gets around to it. But I wouldn't spend money on that show because it never comes out. So
it's never coming out. It's never edited right. The video's always gone. It's a terrible show. But I had a lot of fun doing it.
It's really representative of the fact that it's being ran by a bunch of alcoholics. Anyway, enough of
that. It really is.
We're done. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Bye.